All right, so for our Fans Choice viewers, and here on PA, you'll be able to hear it, a nice little piece that we put together for Jake Gagne. We'll enjoy that right now.
Number 32, Jake Gagne, leading the GoPro Daytona SportBike Championship point standings now, coming to the last round this weekend. What do you think about it?
I'm excited. It's going to be a good few races. We had a little break, but I've been looking forward to this, training hard at home, getting a lot of riding in. So, yeah, I just can't wait to get out there, get some racing in. We just got to go and do it like we do every other race, just try to get some wins. And if that happens, everything falls into place. We get the championship, and that's our goal. But like I said, we'll just go out there and race, and what happens, happens.
What kind of racing or riding did you do in between the rounds? It's been quite some time since Mid-Ohio up until now.
Yeah, again, we had a big break, so I just been riding my bicycle a lot at home, training, riding my dirt bike a lot of motocross. So just trying to stay busy, just basically be as prepared as I can, and I feel really, really good, feel ready to go. So I'm just excited to get out there.
What do you think about young rider Jake Lewis? He's on your tail pretty close in the points right now.
Yeah, Jake's been riding really, really good, so I know it's going to be a fight, and either way it's going to be an exciting few races. So like I said, I'm just looking forward to it, and it'll be some fun battling with everybody. There's going to be a lot of guys gunning for that win. It's the last round of the year, so like I said, a lot of guys are going to be up there. It's going to be good battling, so I'm just excited.
And what about your team? Road Race Factory's had some great wheels for you this year.
Yeah, Roadrace Factory, Red Bull, all these guys, Scotty and Danny, and everybody's been working so hard for me and for the whole team, and I'd want to pay them off and get this championship for all the guys. And like I said, they're always working hard, and they're going to be working their butts off all weekend, so I just got to do my part and just go out there and try to go fast.
There you have it, championship in sight for number 32, Jake Gagne, and GoPro Daytona SportBike.
Very cool, Christy. Jake Gagne, a young man that's got so much talent, it's just kind of hard to imagine. We're going to find out exactly what he's got going on here this weekend. Gagne right now with 189 points. Jake Lewis has 182. That's how close they are. Right now it's 7 points separating those two. And perhaps some of you on Fans Choice did not get to hear that. We apologize if that didn't go live out there. But it was a good little piece, a little interview with Jake Gagne that Christy had pre-recorded for us here for New Jersey. Two-minute Borton horn sounded about a minute ago. We're seeing the clock tick away here. We're down to about a minute 10. All right, 1 minute board, 1 minute horn. Bikes are rolling. We are getting set to go. GoPro Daytona SportBike race number 1 on the weekend. It's going to be in challenging wet conditions. You can see the water splashing up out of these puddles here at Pit Out. Obviously, this race has been declared full wet. I'm confident, Scott Russell, you got to be on race wet tires here.
There's no doubt. Full rains all the way across the board, and anybody who doesn't is probably going to end up on the ground. This is going to be tricky for a lot of riders. I did get a couple laps to sight the track in, but you know that's never the same as when they cut everybody loose and send them off into turn 1 together. So it's going to be tiptoeing around for a lot of riders in the beginning, and see who wants to try to be brave in the beginning and and there's a lot riding on this for a lot of guys here today as far as points goes.
This is a 21-lap race, too, so you've got a little bit more time to accomplish whatever your goals are here. All right, got a couple of social media reports that the FansChoice.tv streaming was down. However, on our phones here, we've still got it happening, so I'm not sure exactly what is up with that. But whatever it is, we can always blame the weather. That's always convenient to have something to fall back on. So we're getting set to go 21 laps, Daytona SportBike. Someone had an indication out there. I saw a foot off a peg like I'm coming in to the hot pit. We'll see if, in fact, anybody does that as the riders begin to assemble here. Dane Westby, in a sweetheart qualifying move late in the game, put the Yamalube Westby Racing team atop the order here. Scott Russell, you got Westby, Gagne, and Gerloff up front. This ought to be very, very good.
3 Yamahas. Yamaha's really had a stranglehold on this series for a long time. We got a couple of triumphs on that second row, and one triumph in the middle of a couple more Yamaha. So it's and you see Essick back there a little ways. That's not where he wanted to end up. They broke a motor. He had to sit out half of the qualifying session. That's why you see him on the third row.
He's starting in the 9th starting spot, Scott, and he said to us up here in the booth, I was just about to lay my best lap down, and she let go. So they're at the line. RPMs are up, and Dane Westby got a really, really good start, as did Gerloff as they head off into turn number 1. Can you imagine the visibility when you're behind these guys?
Essick got a great start, too, there. So he's down in, he's going to slide into about 4th or 5th down into 1. It's tough. I've raced a car here and on the front show. You talk about you can't see. It's really bad. But, yeah, now everybody's through there cleanly. That's really important as they come off of turn 2 into this chicane right here. This is one of the bumpiest parts of the racetrack. So everybody just kind of tiptoeing through here right now. I want to get through clean on this first lap.
You can see Westby solidly up there in the 2nd spot right now, being real patient and calm as everybody seems to be right now. But they really are on the throttle, working it hard here in the early going of this one. They're 2x2 up front.
Yeah, DeSalvo's leading the way, and Westby looked down the inside of him right there, and it looks like he's going to make that happen. Oh, one of the Yamaha riders, the Yamaha extended service riders, feet off the pegs. We got a bike down.
It looks white and red. Not sure who it is, but certainly we do have one bike on the ground over in 7.
It looks to be a Yamaha is what it looks like the bike is.
Goodness, got a rider on the ground here, not what we want to see here in the early going. They're talking like he is moving around and trying to get on his feet.
Well, Westby's not wasting any time. He's starting to jet away from DeSalvo as he comes out of this under the bridge on the front straightaway here. He's your leader right now, and he's got a great lead already, Barry, for lap 1.
He sure does. Dane Westby, since that green light went off and this race got underway, he was on it right from the word go, and he is rocking and rolling here right now. It is Jason DeSalvo running 2nd. Impressive run. Jake Lewis solidly in 3rd. We saw Gerloff had a good start. He's back in the 4th spot. They're going to have to throw a red flag here, and those Clearwater lights, those are so cool. They're digitally programmed LEDs, ultra bright LEDs. They're placed all around the road courses, and the lights are on. I think perhaps it's for the rider that we've got down they're likely going to have to go and assist with that a little bit. There's Garrett Gerloff. We're looking at the 8 right there, Scott. We saw that he had reacted to something that happened back there.
Yeah, he's the rider I saw with a foot off the peg and could have been dodging a downed rider. But obviously, that turn 6 area is where that went down at.
Perhaps we'll get another look at it here in a little bit. Red flags, red lights, they're all headed back to the hot pit lane as we did not get a lap in the record books. 21 laps remain. That'll make it a total restart here when we do get this thing back underway.
You can see Westby shaking his head. It's like, man, what a great start. Now they stop it, and I got to try to do this again. And the rain's really coming down there right now. And this is never fun for any of these guys, crew, rider, any of them. But, you know, for Westby, he's just got to remain calm. And when they restart the race, just try to repeat what you just did.
He certainly did a nice job of it the first time. Perhaps he could pull that off yet again as our front row, Westby, Gagne, and Gerloff. Gagne, I don't really think he faltered necessarily at the line. I just think Westby got such a good start. It made everybody else look slower. And then Gerloff got a great start as well. So that's how they were working it. So the AMA Pro Racing has a minimum 10-minute requirement on reds, and the 10-minute minimum is running. And what that does, folks, is that gives these riders and their teams a minimum that they know that they cannot begin for 10 minutes. So they know they've got at least 10 minutes, Scott, to get in there and do some work.
Well, they're taking some time over too to clean up that area where the rider went down, making sure there's nothing on the racetrack. If oil or anything gets on the racetrack when it's wet, it could really cause havoc. So they want to make sure there's nothing on the racetrack. It's dangerous enough as it is right now, so they decided to stop it. I can see the ambulance rolling off in the distance. I think, you know, they'll probably be back in business in that 10-minute time frame like you talked about.
And no matter where you look, if you're watching it on fanschoice.tv cameras or you're here at the racetrack with Scott Russell and I, it's plain to see that the rain is steady, consistently hard.
Yeah, it's progressively gotten worse. Super Sport race went off pretty good. Had to stop that, and then now you see these riders get that little bit of a practice session, but now it's coming down harder, and it's never fun in conditions like this, but the show must go on, and as long as it can go on. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this really plays out with the championship on the line for a lot of guys, and see how they handle the pressure of that.
It's not what anybody wanted to have happen unless you're really just that good in the rain and you think this is a benefit for you. But really and truly, tomorrow's forecast is way better. We did see this coming. All of us have been watching it on our radars all morning long, knew there was a real chance. You never know. It can sidestep you. Over on the AMA Pro Grand National side, we had 3 flat track races in a row with a 80 to 100% probability of rain forecasted that morning. And all 3 times we had beautiful weather, got the races completely in with no rain whatsoever. So you just can't ever tell. Perhaps in our next life we'll come back as a weather forecaster because you don't really have to be right much.
Well, for the riders that are in it for the championship, today will be a day of survival basically, and just try to get as many points as you can and try not to overdo it. And like you said, the weather looks good for tomorrow, and that's when they'll let it all hang out. But for today, it's going to be an interesting race here soon.
Maybe the most exciting thing coming up in the immediate future has got to be our September 27th Calistoga Half Mile. The AMA Pro Grand National Championship, Scott Russell, is down to the wire with only 2 events left. Calistoga on the 27th and October the 11th at Pomona, California. And I'm just really excited to get out there and see these final 2 races. Our championship's been good. You know that. You've been covering some of those as well.
I have. I've been covering them from MAV TV, and it's been fun to step in there and talk about the dirt track stuff and get to see that. I'm not as lucky as you are. I don't get to go out to these events and call it, but it has been good, and it's a bit of a TV package, so it's been good for the series to get that out there. I know you missed one along the way there, had some other stuff going, but I know you're ready to get back out there at it, Barry.
Yeah, missed one, had missed Grace Harbor half mile because had to go do a road race, but the AMA Pro Grand National Championship is really good this year. It's down to the wire, and we're looking forward to getting it done. Those folks out of Calistoga, right in the heart of the wine country. Very, very beautiful place to go and see a race. I'm going to step aside here. Christy Lee's going to take a seat, and we'll be right back.
And we're rolling. GoPro Rider Roundtable with Larry Bagram and Corey West. Take 2.
Nice to meet
We're here at New Jersey Motorsports Park, and you
Larry.
guys have. Hi, Larry. Nice to meet you, Corey. Christy, pleasure.
Nice.
As always, mine.
Yeah.
New Jersey Motorsports Park, final round of the season. You guys have spent the entire year together with the EBR Foremost team. Tell me about it, or tell the viewers about it.
What do you mean together? We're
I don't know,
heterosexual.
define
I'm
together.
married.
You're comfortable with your sexuality?
Yeah, very. I mean, we're teammates, but we're not together. You said the whole season together.
Okay, you spent the season together as teammates.
Right. That I understand. Okay, I mistook where you were going there in this day and age. I thought maybe you were trying to push us in a direction.
So Corey, tell us how that's been.
It's been just like this right now. It's been really
it's
good.
been fun. We've had a good time this year. Actually,
it's been
we really
fun.
have.
I asked Corey.
I wish the season would have been a longer one because it's been a good time having old man Larry around.
You know, it's not too late to fire somebody. You know, it's before the last race. I mean, honestly.
What I meant to say was all of your experience.
We've had a really good time this year. You know, the whole deal with Eric Buell and with Foremost and with Amsoil and everybody that we've had involved with the team this year. It's really been enjoyable. And like Corey said, it just was too quick of a season for us. But other than that, you know, it's been probably one of the most enjoyable seasons I've had in a long, long time.
So what about now? It's the last round of the year. I mean, you guys gonna have separation anxiety? Is gonna have time to catch up afterwards?
Larry, can I come over and get naked in your?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna miss Corey bending over in my transporter changing. For some reason, we try to change it several times,
But it always
and it
happens.
always ends up that you're changing and you're doing this, and the guy opens the door to walk in. So we started a tie a sock on the door thing or something for here at the last race. So, but no.
Like as
I mean,
a
we're
keep out reminder?
Yeah, because like,
okay.
hey, a dude's getting ready to get naked in here, and you're gonna walk in and see what you don't want to see as another dude.
I just don't know how I get so tan.
Yeah. Well, my legs aren't tan. This is my farmer's tan, they call it, but I'm not a farmer. It's my bicycle tan. But we're starting to look towards next year already. Everybody's starting to think about next year and what we're going to be doing and trying to figure out how we can make things better for next season.
Right, Corey, what's your favorite part about working with Larry as a teammate?
Just the whole family atmosphere that's underneath his tent. I mean, he's got his mom and his dad.
It's my mom's cooking, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. She makes sure we're well fed and all that stuff. But we just got a good group of guys. We all get along well. We all joke and have a good time. But I mean, there's always put the gear on and get out and do the business on the racetrack. But it's been fun. I mean, me and Larry get along pretty well and bounce things off each other and just trying to progress with the motorcycle and get quicker on the racetrack.
All right, Larry, favorite part about having Corey on the team?
I haven't had a teammate.
Don't think too hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I enjoy Corey. He's a nice guy and this, that, and the other, but I haven't had a teammate for a while. So having Corey in there is finally giving me that opportunity to kind of see, hey, this is getting towards the end of what my career is racing, and I've been able to kind of turn on that team owner side and help Corey. One of the big places I was able to help him the most was at Laguna because I was doing the World Superbike and he was doing the MA. And I never knew if I would enjoy that role or not, if I could do it, and I've really enjoyed it with him. So it's kind of given me a little bit of opportunity to see, hey, when you do quit riding, you're still going to enjoy being at the racetrack.
All right. Well, that's all very touching. But
Yeah,
Corey,
and
what's the worst part about being on a team with Larry? I
Go
know
ahead,
the check
just
hasn't
tell-
been signed yet, but
Yeah. I mean, you got to be careful on this one because it is the beginning of the
Off
last
the record, no. I've enjoyed all of it. Really, it's been a fun.
I can tell you for both of us, it's been walking in on the other dude naked. That is not good.
So when I just like open the door, I'm like, am I
I know.
safe?
I
Oh
know.
God,
Every
I'm
time.
not safe. I can't
know.
burn that out.
I know. That image is not good in my brain.
that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Well, he's
of all
just
of it.
used to having the whole truck to himself.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like walking around naked in my truck.
Free spirit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
nobody else is coming in, and here comes Corey. Hey! And he walks
Well,
right
what about all the other
Bad
people
time?
that are?
Nobody else is
your
coming
truck?
up in the area where we change. It's just for
Just you
riders,
guys.
but this year it's riders instead of rider. See?
So that's a little bit of an adjustment.
He's got all these mirrors and stuff, so you can't ever like really
You can never.
hide.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm
It's
not
like a
looking,
VIP
but he's
lounge.
got like 4 angles and he's.
Let's not go there with
Yeah,
the
let's-
mirrors
we gotta
and
go somewhere
hidden
else.
cameras and all that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you guys have overall had a pretty good season together.
Yeah.
Parting is sweet sorrow this last round.
Yeah. I think. I don't know that we're parting. We're just going to the next year. We're gonna stay together. I love him. I love him.
All right. All funny jokes aside, racing this weekend. What do you guys think about New Jersey in the final round of the year for 2014?
For me, I love this place. We have the school here, the Yamaha Champions Riding School that we do, and so I've got some good track time here. It's a great track. It seems to be really in the United States. I think it's the most motorcycle-oriented crowd around here. I mean, they have track days here every day. We have the school here. There's just a lot of motorcycle people in this little tri-state area. This place is a ton of motorcycles, so I'm looking forward to a great crowd, and this is probably, like I said, in the United States right now, I'd say this is the most motorcycle-oriented road race track in the country.
Nice. Corey?
I really like this place. My first little dabble with Eric and the Buell was here in '09, and we had a good weekend then. And the bike seems to work pretty good here, and I think we'll both get up to speed and have a good weekend.
All right. Well, all business aside, we were just discussing favorite movies and some of your favorite movie quotes. Anything you'd like to share with the fans out there? Some things that you guys like? No?
Now you put me on the spot. I can't think.
Oh, okay. Too much pressure?
I
Yeah.
can't be funny anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not a funny guy. Pretty,
All right,
pretty
all right.
serious all the time. You probably noticed that.
Clearly. We'll draw it in then. Larry Pegram and Corey West, GoPro Rider Roundtable. Thank you guys, and of course, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you much.
And we're back. Welcome back to Fans Choice. Christy Lee sitting up here giving Barry Booth just a brief moment to breathe, joined by Scott Russell, of course. It's definitely been an interesting day, Scott, with quite the twist this afternoon. We had a little rain earlier. I used the word little very lightly, as it's certainly picked up since then, and now we've got another rain delay.
Yeah, there's a lot of rain, a lot of water standing on the front straightaway. 2-minute boards just come out now, though, so we're going to get back to it. There have been some crashes and caused the delays, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be wet. Their championship's still on the line, so I don't know who's going to win. I think Westby's looking good after that first restart, so Double Zero's kind of the guy to watch, I think, for this one.
Well, Gagne and Jake Lewis both in the hunt for this championship. I mean, they want to end the season strong. They want to end it with good racing and a good battle, but both of them have got to be disappointed with conditions like this.
Oh, yeah. For those two guys today, they got to survive. They need to stay on their motorcycle and maybe stay close to each other if possible. It's not always that easy. For the rest of the field, they can kind of just let themselves go. It may be a day that Eslick can pull back some points, too, being in that third spot. And it's so easy to tip over in this condition. Those guys have got to be kind of on the edge right now.
Well, that's what caused our red flag situation, was not even being able to make the first lap completed was due to a downed rider. So obviously the conditions are less than ideal for anyone, but most certainly for this GoPro Daytona SportBike class, and it's definitely going to make for some difficult racing. I completely agree with you, where Jake Gagne and Jake Lewis got to keep an eye on each other and stay close and play it safe.
Yeah, the good thing is that they can run full reins in this, and it becomes a 16-lap practice session, basically, is what we're going into. Racing in this condition is difficult. Survival, I would call it, more so than racing right now at this point. And looking forward to seeing who's going to step up, be a hero today, maybe.
Well, as much as I always enjoy sitting by you in the captain's chair up here, Scott Russell, I'm going to turn it back over to Barry Boone and let him take over for this GoPro Daytona SportBike race. It's been nice being up here for just a couple minutes and staying dry.
Yeah. Thanks for feeding Barry. He was, I don't think he was going to make it through the rest of the day. So
He's
you
getting a little
saved
angry
him today for sure.
All right, Barry. Thanks, guys.
Wow. Christy, thank you so much. Christy Lee joining us here in the booth. We always appreciate actually having her here. She's generally all downstairs doing all that she is doing here this weekend. So they sent the safety car out. The safety car looked the racetrack over. They're looking at this standing water situation. Apparently, everyone's satisfied with the drainage. So the race goes on. It's going to be a totally wet race. It is reduced to a 16 lap. GoPro Daytona SportBike race number 1 here this weekend, Scott. So personally, I think that's probably good.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of time that's passed due to issues, and so maybe they decided to shorten the race just because of that, and then try to get this played back on schedule somewhat. Still have Superbike race coming up. So yeah, they've done that. They cut the race a little bit short. I don't think any of the riders are going to mind that, to be honest with you.
And I agree, it's totally all about not rider safety so much, but getting the schedule back in order. We still have a Superbike race 1 to conduct following this 16-lap race, and we have Vance and Hines Harley-Davidson Series qualifying 1 coming up yet today too. So there's lots of on-track activity that remains here today. And, you know, Christy Lee, even all wet and on her worst day, looks a lot better than your customary partner. So I think you won the game there.
Yeah, okay.
So we are getting set to go. They have been released from the hot pit, working their way back to the starting grid. And in just a moment, our GoPro Daytona SportBike race number 1 will be back for a complete and total restart here in just a second. They are on their way. GoPro, the world's most versatile camera, enables people to capture and share their lives' most exciting moments in professional quality, high-definition video and photos with the newly released Hero 3 Plus camera line. Smaller, lighter, mightier still. Visit GoPro.com. Well, they have arrived or are arriving as we speak. Our starting grid is going to be set to go, and if you're just joining us, welcome aboard. We are at New Jersey Motorsports Park, Millville, New Jersey, for the Kawasaki Devil Showdown presented by Ion Cameras. We are in the wet. GoPro Daytona SportBike is getting set to go. Dane Westby, number 00, fast qualifier. He's on the pole. 32, Jake Gagne, starting in the middle of row number 1. Number 8, Garrett Gerloff will be on the outside of row number 2. Looking around here, it appears that I do not yet see Jake Lewis inside of row number 2. Don't see him. Somebody let me know if you do, but I don't see him. I see Jason DeSalvo, I see JD Beach, but I do not see, unless he went to the back of the grid. He's on, okay, gotcha. He's on the hot pit. So the race is underway. The visibility perhaps slightly better than the start of this race a moment ago when they didn't complete one lap. But when I say slightly, I do mean slightly. There's the, ooh.
A little bit of a step right there for Gerloff. It looked like he kind of got out of shape on the throttle. Riders down. That looks like DeSalvo possibly.
I
No, it's Elena Myers.
It's Elena. And Jake Lewis, by the way, is on the hot pit grid. We can see him down here. And being on the hot pit, he has until the conclusion of this lap to rejoin the race. So that's a little bit of drama right there because there's a championship on the line here. Gagne is your championship leader. Lewis is currently second.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, yeah, we know that Jake Lewis did not make the start. I saw him climb over the wall, so it doesn't look good for the Mean Motorsports team down there on pit road. Championship could be going down the drain right now. But for Gagne, he needs to get the word, and it's gonna. You can't communicate with the rider, so if he knew his arch rival in the championship was out, he could just kind of roll out of it. Right now, he's out there on the racetrack, doesn't really know that that's the case, so he's going to keep racing. And the only thing that could help Jake Lewis at this point would be for something to happen to Gagne, and then they start over again tomorrow.
And anything can and sometimes does happen, especially in circumstances like the ones we're dealing with here today. But right now, that's the situation as Gagne begins to. Well, it's just tough back there. You can see they've kind of gotten strung out just a little bit here in the early going.
Didn't take long, and look at the doubles there. The Wolverines out there slicing them up already. Looks like Jake Zemke up into second spot. So, wow, Jake on the Honda, who probably had no real chance of winning this thing in a dry, has really got a shot now to do some good here. Maybe put that thing on the podium.
Tomas Puerta drove it in deep right there, trying to make an inside move. But you're right, Westby has really got a nice lead here as we see the 98 of Zemke and the 40 of Jason DeSalvo. That pretty much confirms what we were talking about. It must have been Elena Myers that went down over there.
It was. She was kind of limping as she got off. Hopefully she'll be all right, be able to come back tomorrow. But this is definitely stretched out, and there's still a lot to be played out right now for Westby. It's just racing the racetrack. For everybody behind him is going to have to try to make a move, and that's still Zemke and DeSalvo putting the heat on him right now. And then our championship leader runs in 6th, Barry.
Yes, he does, and he's got right now. We'll see what happens with Jake Lewis, and Christy's on her way down to try to get us an update on that. But when you look a little deeper in the points chase, it is at the top of the order. It's Jake Gagne. Let's go to Christy real quick. Hold on here. Okay, let's go down trackside to Christy Lee. Gotcha. All right, very good. We are going to get an update from Christy here in just a moment on Jake Lewis and perhaps Elena Myers as well. Okay, go real quick. Okay. He didn't make it out, did he? Is he still there? So it was an electrical problem on Jake Lewis's motorcycle. They turned the switch on and nothing would happen.
Oh, he's got to be gutted. He was had such a great year, coming on strong at the end of the season, championship in sight. Still, it's not over, but man, it's got to be a tough break for that whole crew and the rider down there.
No question about it. I know Jake Lewis that's going to just pretty much ruin his chances here this weekend. And you know, when you think about that, that's such a heartbreaker when you see that type of thing unfold, because you work so hard to keep someone within sight coming into the championship weekend, and then before you know it, it's over. That's a great battle right there. We talked a little bit earlier, you and I, about this whole situation with the dirt track guys, and there's one of the best right there, JD Beach, number 6, up in the middle of that hunt right there. JD doesn't mind pushing the front a little bit or sliding the rear. He's good with that.
That's right, and he's really got a good run going now, and sitting right there on the back of DeSalvo. DeSalvo looked like he wanted to try to make a move on Jake Zemke back in turn 6, but he decided not to. I think he's sizing him up. As far as the 00 out front, he was 2 seconds a lap faster than anybody else on the racetrack that last lap. So for Westby, he just needs to maintain at this point. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to run him down, but he doesn't want to go out there and overcook it. There's a lot of standing water on the racetrack. It would not be hard to make a mistake, and you see riders in the background making mistakes.
There's at least one on the ground back there.
Tomas Puerta, it looks like to me.
I do believe that is.
And he was running strong. He was sixth place when they came across the line last time, Barry, and looked pretty aggressive there, and it caught him out. But it's so easy in this condition to just overdo it just a little bit.
Yep. And between the visibility and the traction, too many visibility issues and not quite enough traction equals a little scary scenario. So right now you've got Westby is your race leader, Jake Zemke running second, Jason DeSalvo third, JD Beach is fourth, Garrett Gerloff is in the 5th spot, and Jake Gagne back there in 6th right now.
And Westby still nearly half a second quicker than Zemke. But saying that Zemke and DeSalvo and the rest of the field have definitely upped their pace. They're on the same lap time as Westby, within a half a second now. So Westby's out front showing them what can be done, and these riders here, second, third, and fourth, they're really keeping an eye on that, dealing with each other at the same time. And there's Gagne just doing his own. And now Eslick, another championship player in this game, is starting to close in on Gagne. So a lot of things can happen here, Barry.
Yeah, it can, and Eslick is good in the wet, too. Another dirt tracker by all of his history in the past. That's just what he's always done, as well as road race. He could do both, and we'll see if any of that makes any sense as this thing unfolds. Right now, though, Dane is so smooth, Scott. When we had a camera on him a moment ago, it was just, he made it look, he's making it look so easy. We do have JD Beach on the ground here. Real easy get off. He's good. He's up, going to refire that motorcycle. That's going to cost him at least 2, maybe 3 spots.
Yeah, that corner, I've never actually ridden this racetrack in the rain, but I know that corner there's got a little bit of asphalt sealer on it. Whether that caught JD out or not, JD's had he had a big one here a couple of years ago, and that same coming out of that corner. That time never made it all the way out of the corner, tipped over, but did remount, and he'll be kicking himself right there, and that looks like DeSalvo now.
That's a hard hit. That's Jason DeSalvo right there walking away from looks like a very badly damaged motorcycle.
That looks like that turn 2 area to me.
He's kind of favored his hip just a little bit on the left side.
It's right where his teammate Elena got off, and she was kind of favoring her hip. So
it's true.
You know, sometimes these crowds, you get high-sided off these things, and it hurts.
Dane Westby looks over his shoulder and has to be pleased with what he sees right now, at least. It was at least 2 corners back to the next rider. He's got a 6.864 gap over Zemke last time by, timing and scoring stripe here on the front stretch.
Wow, when I look back, though, Barry, there was a pack of 3 riders running in second. Beach was one of those. Now I only see 1 rider in that pack, and then way back now. So not sure who the rider is in second there. Still mine. It might be Zemke, but looks like we may have lost another rider as well. Well, we did. We lost DeSalvo and we've lost JD Beach. Those were the 2 guys that were running right with Jake Zemke, and they both went down. So that left Zemke in second place right now, and this guy, Westby, just out front pulling away.
Well, and one of the big winners in that whole melee has got to be Danny Eslick, because right now that would move him, I believe, into 3rd on the racetrack and a podium finish if he can hang on right there.
Oh, yeah, there's Eslick just coming over the horizon right there. You can see him on the white motorcycle, knee out. And he's got Jake Gagne right behind him.
And Garrett Gerloff right behind Gagne.
Yeah. And Joe Roberts on the Honda, another Honda. So this rain's a great equalizer. Gives those guys on those Hondas a shot to get up there and get on the podium. And Zemke's making the most of this day, and so is Joe Roberts.
So things are shaking out. When they get back to the line, it'll be 10 laps remaining. And right now it's Westby, Zemke, Eslick, Gagne, and Gerloff. 6th through 10th is Roberts, Kyle Wyman, Miles Thornton, JD Beach, who we know has had an issue here, and Tucker Lancaster. But that is a really good race right there. And I think Eslick has definitely got his hands full right now with Jake Gagne and Garrett Gerloff.
Yeah, he looks good coming up through the pack right now, but now that they've gotten by him, they're kind of latching onto him and kind of going with him. Gagne definitely wants to keep the 69 in sight and really doesn't want him finishing in front of him. He's got a pretty good gap over Danny as far as points goes. And we've seen that, Gagne doesn't need to get really in a race with anybody right now, but as I say that, he tries to go a long way around Danny.
He sure does. He goes to the high side of Eslick, and Eslick just turned around and looked square at him right there going, "What the heck are you doing?" And what he's doing is being Jake Gagne, and that's looking for a way around the man in front of him, which is what he does. As you said, there is the 3, the Honda of Joe Roberts. Well, not in that shot, but in the prior one. And Kyle Wyman up to 7th right now. There he is right there. That is your 2nd place rider, Jake Zemke. But the battle for 3rd is really, really a good show.
You can see Eslick looked over his shoulder, looked to the right, expecting Gagne to come down the inside of him. Jake still hadn't pulled the trigger and made that move, but right now it looks like that's the move right there over the top of turn 2. Danny ran a little bit wide, and Jake saw an open, and he said he was going to take it and try to claw back maybe some points here, and maybe go for it a little bit at this point. He just needs to be really careful at this point.
With the speed that Gagne was able to use to catch Eslick, it wouldn't be surprising if he didn't slip out from him right there once he's around him, because he really came up on him in a hurry.
Yeah, I'm sure Jake's just been kind of really taking it easy, just feeling it out, knowing that really no pressure. He doesn't see the 85 anywhere in sight. He may not know that he's out. They may have given him the pit board. If they're smart, that he's out of the race. That'll take a lot of the pressure off Jake Gagne, and he could just kind of bring that thing home wherever he finishes today. If he finishes in front of Eslick, that's great.
Well, if he can add one more win, that'll give him 3 victories here in 2014 in GoPro Daytona SportBike. And right now, that's something no one else has been able to do. We have 3 two-time winners, no 3-time winners on the tour as of right now.
Boy, he's got a straightaway lead. Does the 0-0.
He's got all the time in the
Westby.
world.
Yeah, he's just cruising at this point. Just maintain what you're doing, and you'll be fine. Setting the pole, his first pole of his career. He's riding on a high with that Broaster Chicken sponsored on that motorcycle, Yamalube. Paying back these sponsors for all the help, going out on his own, starting their own team this year. Dane's already got him a couple wins this year at Barber. He's had a good season, been an up and down season as well, but this is where he wants to finish it here.
And we'll see how it shakes out. There are 9 laps remaining, and 9 laps is a long, long time. But it looks to me as if, Scott, the track is actually drying just a little bit.
Well, it's definitely better than it was when the race started. It was a downpour, and there was a lot more standing water on the front straightaway. It's hard to see around the rest of the racetrack. But, yeah, it looks like it's a manageable situation for most of the riders. A lot of them already bit the dust, but this guy here has got out front. He's had really no challenge for the lead, and that makes life easy in a situation like this. You just maintain, you watch your pit board, and you just bring that thing home.
Just go out there and ride your motorcycle, and he's doing that without the pressure of 2, 3, 4 people right there behind him. He is a commanding lead right now. In fact, I'm not confident exactly what's going on, but his lead has grown to 14.6 over Jake Zibke. That's amazing.
Yeah, this is a great race for a lot of people, as far as Dane for sure. But as you look back through, now Kyle Wyman's starting to find his way through the pack. He's in 6th spot, and the next guy on he's already taken care of Joe Roberts. The next guy on his list is Garrett Gerloff. So Wyman, who's one of our Yamaha Champ School riders here, he's got a lot of time out here. He's really moving forward right now. Looking farther down the list, Melissa Parris, 11th spot. So this has allowed a lot of riders to step up and get a decent result here today.
And it's kind of good right here when you look down this leaderboard and you see there is a Honda in 2nd place with 8 to go of a 16-lap race. That is actually very, very good. Very good for Honda, at least.
Very good for Honda and the Ulrich crew
and
down
the Ulrich
there.
team.
They got to be happy with that, and having Joe running in the 6th spot too. So right now they're looking good down there in that pit.
Yep. In fact, Joe is 6th, so if he could make just a move or 2, he could end up in the top 5 perhaps. But that looks like it's going to be a challenge right now because there's a little bit of a gap in front of him that he would have to make up to do that. He is leading right now. Ooh, a little bit of a slip back there in the back. He is leading, though, and doing a real nice job of it in that little battle within the race.
Now Zibke's coming under serious pressure by Gagne right now, and that's inevitable. That's going to happen as long as Gagne stays on board. Looks like he's dragging Eslick up there with him, although he's dropped Eslick off about 10, 15 bike lengths. But there's the move right there, Barry. Just nice and easy up the inside. It's a long, super long duration corner, and Jake got a little happy with the throttle right there. This is where you're using rear brake. You can see him apply the rear brake midway through the corner with his right foot. That's the poor man's traction control right there, and he's really using it. to his advantage, and he saw how easy it would be to get out of shape coming out of that right-hander. So he said, maybe I better cover this thing with the rear brake a little bit. Now the thing's straight up and down, then you can pull the trigger on this thing.
And he's definitely got a good motorcycle and riding it well here today. There it is right there. That's the battle right now at the moment for second place and third, if you will. That's your podium battle right there. As for Westby, his lead has grown to 15.3 over this two-man battle for second. And with 7 to go, be 6 when they get back. That would preclude these guys, I think, running down Dane Westby. Though they might narrow that gap just a little bit, running them down would be a whole other matter.
Well, Zemke's going to try to hang on to Gagne right here because he knows, they can see his pit board. He can see that he doesn't have much of a gap on the rider behind him, which is Danny Eslick. Been a rough year for Jake Zemke, to say the least. He wants to, any chance he can get on that podium, he's going to do everything he can today to fight to stay on that box right now. And he's doing a good job because Jake's a good carrot to dangle out front of you the way he's running right now. And maybe it's just holding off Eslick at this point.
Right now, Kyle Wyman is shown in the 10th spot. Must have had a little issue somewhere on this racetrack. There you go. So I'm not certain if this has been communicated or can be, or if they already kind of figured this thing out. But Jake Gagne right now running up in second behind Westby is a very good thing for Jake's championship hopes here, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, if it continues to run like it is with Jack Lewis in the pit, Gagne will be able to wrap up this championship here today if he can maintain this second spot. And, you know, for him, he probably doesn't realize that right now, but that'll be unbelievable for him and that team. And then that'll be able to where he can let his hair down tomorrow and just kind of let it all hang out and put on a show.
And we don't want to jinx him or anything. It's early yet, so he definitely has not secured the championship, but he has a shot at doing it. And we will see as it shakes out. But, you know, right now he's protecting what he's got going on, Scott. He's not going to take any chances here, I don't believe. Do you?
Doesn't have to anymore. There's no pressure from behind. He's done the hard work. He's let the race come to him. He let Westby go. You let a guy like that, you can't run with him, let him go. And then you run your own race. And then as he got more comfortable with the racetrack and the tires, he started to clip it off and start picking riders off. And now he's in a real safe spot. Like I said, no real pressure from Zemke from behind. Just maintaining the pace that he's got. And he'll be your new Daytona SportBike champion.
And, in fact, he is. He has lopped about a second and a half off of that gap up front on Westby, or had a moment ago. We'll see as timing shakes out here. And he's continuing. He's got another second. He's taking off about a second a lap, but he's got 12.2 to make up and 5 laps to do it in. So he does not have time, but he definitely has his head down and is going to work right now. Still the fastest lap of the race does belong to Dane Westby with a 1:44.644. And, you know, that's really, you kind of called this in a way when we were talking about Zemke's Honda, because early on in our little pre-race, you said that the rain is a great equalizer, and someone like Honda who hasn't quite had the horsepower or who hasn't quite had everything like they want it to be gives them an opportunity to run well. And I look at this thing right now, and you got Zemke in third, Joe Roberts in sixth, and there are other examples of that back down through this field.
Oh yeah, I mean for those that crew down there and Jake Zemke, I mean he needs a podium finish, you know, the way it's gone for him. So sometimes it's rain.
I have a lot of respect for Jake Zemke. I really do.
Oh yeah, he's a class act and been around a long time. So when he jumped on this thing, his hands were kind of tied as far as speed goes, I think a little bit, and you know, it makes life tough as a racer when you've been a winner and then you find yourself in a position where you really can't. It makes it tough. So this could brighten up their day a little bit, so to speak, on such a gloomy day.
Yep, and a great way to kind of begin the ending of their season. Of course, we don't want to discount that tomorrow is race day here in the Kawasaki Devil Showdown as well, and forecast is for sunshine, so that could be very much contrasty with the rain you see. It's still falling pretty good, as you can see in the foreground right there. It's splashing. There's big rain falling from the air still. In fact, it may be back with a vengeance right now again. And of course, the one thing everybody's going to be doing here when they come across the stripe, they're all going to be looking at these race leaders to get an if they get an indication from them of this weather, because I'm telling you right now, Scott Russell, the rain has moved in. It's raining about as hard right now as it has been all race long. And some of them are really tiptoeing here.
Yeah, this is going to get deep out here with the amount of rain that's coming down. The water on the front straightaway is significant. So this is going to be, they just have to notch it back right now and just survive with 4 laps to go. Inside of 4 laps now, I think we can get this in. And for Jake Gagne right now, he's really going to be kind of holding his breath for about 3 laps.
So if they've been on rain tires for 12 laps, how much wear and tear do those tires suffer in the wet like this?
I think they're fine. You know, the rain tires, the more rain, the better.
Cooler, right?
For them. So we haven't really had a situation where it hadn't been good and wet. So these Dunlop rain tires should still be really working well for.
I see that sealer right there you were talking about up in the middle of that corner. That was obvious right there in that shot. Coming under the Napa Auto Parts Bridge.
I think Zemke, this might be an opportunity that Zemke might feel that maybe I could pull something back. It's getting pretty tricky, but as soon as you start to push in a situation like this, you can overdo it so fast.
Jake Gagne's probably thinking, bring that rain. Let's make it rain so hard. At this point, let's just end this thing, because he probably has figured out that this finish will secure a championship for him this year. And that's something I know that he and that team have been working hard for. Despite Danny Walker's being Mr. Cool a couple of weeks ago, you could tell this morning he was thinking about that championship today when he arrived here at New Jersey, and looking forward to getting this thing done.
Well, that's going to be a huge deal for that team. You know, really a young team in this sport, only been around a few years, and what they've accomplished in such a short time is really amazing. And they picked a great motorcycle to go with. They got a great sponsor in Red Bull, and Danny, you know, he's been around racing his whole life, and they've done a great job of piecing together a crew over there that has a good time working together, and that's everything. You know, now for them to hopefully close this deal in about 2.5 laps here, it's going to be a party tonight for those guys.
It will, and have a good day here tomorrow, and then head over to the British Superbike deal to finish their year out. But you know what? Before we spend too much time celebrating, because first of all, he's not crossed the finish line yet, Gagne hasn't, but what a heartbreaker for Jake Lewis and the Mean Motorsports guys. I got to say, that's a tough way to lose one right there.
That's racing, isn't it? You know, electrical problem or whatever it was. I mean, you can never see that stuff coming, and you know, that's a sad day for him and the team, obviously. But you know, they got to be able to hold their heads high. They've rode great this year. They've really put on a great show throughout the season, and a great effort. So you know, they'll get that thing running, and tomorrow we're going to see the best of Jake Lewis, I can guarantee you. And I think with it dry tomorrow, keep your eyes on that 85.
Agreed. He will show up ready to do business here tomorrow, as we are down to a white flag situation as soon as the leaders get back. And no one can, there's not anybody here or watching on Fans Choice that can't see the moisture coming out of the sky right now, but I got a feeling Jake Gagne could care less right now. He and Westby, we don't want to not talk about what a big win this is for Dane Westby. He will become the first 3-time winner in GoPro Daytona SportBike this year.
Well deserved too. I mean, the kid can ride, you know. He's just had bad luck the last couple of years here and there, and take him out of contention in certain situations. But they were riding the Honda last year, and he felt like, I can't get it done, and they decided to go out on their own and start their own team. And luckily for Dane, he's got Trig Westby on his side, and all that crew, Jerry Daggett and all those guys, Chuck Taketo, they've all put it together, and look at them now. They're out there showing it, how it's done at the end of the season. They want to end it like this.
So many years of experience in that group. You add it all up, there's a lot of mountain of experience behind that young man right there. It's going to be a fun victory podium celebration. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves again, because we still are looking for the race leader to arrive back here for a white flag situation. And there it is, and there he is. Hard to see him coming down the front stretch, but that's Dane Westby right there. And he will see that white flag and realize he is one away. So the Wolverine touring New Jersey Motorsports Park for the final time today, knowing that all he's got to do is keep that shiny side up and the rubber side down, and he is going to win himself his third win of the 2014 season. Doing what he's been doing all day long, just being real smooth, flowing back and forth through those S-turns.
Yeah, in a situation like this, rain races, you just really hold on to the handlebars, super light. Everything you do on the motorcycle's got to be a real delicate move, and it really teaches you how to be smooth. And you can't get aggressive in this situation, and it really makes you just breathe and calm down. And you know, Westby's been the best at it today.
Light on your braking, gentle on your braking, gentle on your turn in, picking up the throttle a little bit easier. That's pretty cool. How were you in the rain?
Very good.
It was your thing?
I had a lot of good runs in the rain, and I don't know. I just always felt really confident. Had great motorcycles over the years, and you know, it pays off for a guy who can relax and let it come to him, and don't push the issue, and let the bike just do what it wants to do underneath you. And
you know, everything you're saying, I could not relate to that on a road racer, but I could relate on a woods bike doing air scrambles. I've done a lot of that, and with that bike, when you're in super slop and mud, you gotta let it do whatever it's gonna do and stay cool and just let it go. Checkered flag is in the air, and our winner is heading out of the final corner. The double zeros of Dane Westby wins at New Jersey Motorsports Park, bringing the Yamalube colors to the top of the podium. Beautiful finish for he and that team, adding his third win of 2014. And that is then becoming the man who is the only three-time winner on this tour as of right now. Jake Gagne, number 32, the Roadrace Factory Red Bull team and their rider Jake Gagne have done it. Gagne has won the GoPro Daytona SportBike title for 2014. And what a great finish for number 98. Jake Zemke has carried the Honda colors up to the podium here today in the wet. The Geico Motorcycle Racing Honda has finished third here today, and a very good run, just out of the top three. Garrett Gerloff in fourth, Danny Eslick fifth. A great finish for Joe Roberts in sixth.
Boy, what a run from Miles Thornton. He came from way back up there to get that done. There's a lot of good results here for a lot of good riders here.
Yes, it is, and these guys are just circulating around here, Scott, right now, enjoying the fact that, A, they didn't crash. They kept it up. They finished this race. And for Dane Westby, big-time win for him. For Jake Gagne, big championship for him. And for Jake Zemke, doing what he needed to do, not only for himself, but for his team.
That's right, and it's a good effort for those guys. Another one I want to talk about is DeSalvo. Crashed, remounted, and finished in the 12th spot. So good effort from him.
Yeah, I hate it that Elena Myers crashed out of this one early. I have a feeling she would have been very good in the rain here, but hey, that's just how it is. And so it is Dane Westby, your race winner, the 32 of Jake Gagne finishing second, and number 98, Jake Zemke, your third place finisher here today at the Kawasaki Devil Showdown, presented by Ion Cameras. Hope you're having a great time here at the racetrack and at home watching. Don't go anywhere. We have an American Superbike event coming up. Race number 1 will be happening after Victory Podium. And Christy Lee is already in place and set to go down there as the riders are beginning to make their way down to that area here at New Jersey. They're going to do it. They're going to send the safety car out and do a little inspection on this racetrack just to make sure of the standing water. Though everyone, last time out, everyone was very impressed with the drainage. Perhaps it'll be the same scenario here. And the next sound you're going to hear, the next sound you'll hear will be Christy Lee at Victory Podium, and we will await that right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our GoPro Daytona SportBike race number 1 podium presentations here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. What a day it has been, and what a podium celebration this shall be in just a moment here. We'll get started with our 3rd place finisher this afternoon, an outstanding performance on his Geico motorcycle Honda, number 98 of Jake Zemke. Come on up here, Jake. Come on, guys, give it up for him. That's better, that's better. Jake, I think to say that racing was difficult is definitely an understatement, but I know getting a podium finish for you and your Geico motorcycle team is a great accomplishment. Congratulations on the 3rd place finish.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, when I looked at the weather this week leading into this race, it looked like it might be raining, and I was like, come on, let it rain, let it rain. So, you know, I'm just really happy to get the Geico motorcycle Honda up here on the podium. It's been a bit of a tough year for us, and we're just really happy to be able to get up on the podium before the year's out. So, you know, I really want to take the time to thank John Ulrich, Chris Ulrich, my whole crew, Aaron, Lee, Ben. These guys have worked so hard for me this year, and you know, it's really good to be back up on the box. I want to thank all you fans for standing around in this rain. I know it hadn't been the nicest day, but it's really, really good to see when you're coming around the track, seeing all you guys standing on the fences and stuff. So thanks a lot for sticking around, and just want to say thanks to some of my personal sponsors, of course, Arai Helmets, Troy Lee Designs, Alpine Stars, Z Gallery, TPL Racing. You know, there's a lot of people that stick behind me, and I want to dedicate this podium to my son, who passed away March, right before Daytona, March 3rd. So this one's for you, Shawnee.
Congratulations once again to our 3rd place finisher. Today, to present our trophies for the GoPro Daytona SportBike class from Ion Cameras, the CEO, Giovanni Tomaselli. Giovanni, please come on up here. It's a pleasure to have you here today and sponsoring our racing this afternoon. Any words for Jake Zemke and the Geico Motorcycle Honda team?
I mean, it's under very difficult conditions, but congratulations. It was a great effort to staying vertical. It's pretty cool. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Giovanni, and thank you once again. Congratulations to number 98, Jake Zemke on the Geico Motorcycle Honda. Let's now bring up our second place finisher, which I'm sure the second place finish is the last thing on his mind at this moment. Let's welcome to the stage on the Roadrace Factory Red Bull machine, number 32, Jake Gagne. Congrats, Jake. What else is there to say? You ran an outstanding race. You earned the second place finish, but congratulations on the championship.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a huge weight off our shoulders to get this done today. That's definitely not what I expected. I'm bummed for Jake that he didn't get a shot at it, and but that's racing. He'll come out swinging tomorrow, I'm sure. But thanks to the whole Roadrace Factory Red Bull crew. Those guys have been working their butts off, and I've been with these guys for 3 years, and to pay them off with this championship is incredible. And I'm just so stoked. And congrats to Dane and Jake. That was just survival out there. And man, I'm just happy we made it through that. And the weather was gnarly, but we made it through. So I'm just happy to be here and get this championship for all the guys.
Congratulations again to number 32. We'll have a championship presentation in just a moment to present the second place trophy this afternoon. Once again, Giovanni Tomaselli from Ion Cameras. Any words for Jake and the Red Bull Road Race Factory team?
Jake, well done. Congratulations. I mean, these conditions, you're a better man than most. Well done. Thank you.
Very much.
Jake, we've got some more. We're coming your way in just a moment. Let's bring to the stage our first place finisher this afternoon, running an outstanding race, leading most of the race at that. The 00 of Dane Westby on the Yamalube Westby Racing machine. Dane, come on up here.
Did you ride off of this like?
Dane, to say it was a crazy race is just unreal. You had an outstanding time out there, I'm sure, but it was a wiry one. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going through my mind, but we're on top of the box, just got a good gap there, and then that was the plan. So here we are. Woo! I'd just like to thank, first of all, we got a special sponsor, NDSS, and we're going to run a special helmet for them tomorrow, and hopefully we can auction that off. But also Yamaha and Trevor and everybody that helped me get here, Chuck and my dad, and that good old fold out last night that helped me get some sleep. So
apparently that was the secret to present for the final time our first place trophy, Giovanni Tomaselli again from Ion Cameras. Any words for Dane and the Yamalube Westby Racing team?
I don't know. All I can say is this is pretty crazy weather, but hats off to these guys. Did a great job, and I'm sure they're going to be hot at it again tomorrow, the boys. Thank you.
Congratulations once again to our first place finisher. Folks, let's give it up for our top three finishers this afternoon in the GoPro Daytona SportBike race number 1 here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. That will complete your top 3 on the podium, but we have more hardware to distribute at this time because, of course, we also have a brand new champion within this series. To present our championship award and number 1 plate to the number 32 of Jake Gagne, on behalf of AMA Pro Road Racing, let's welcome Mr. Mark McGrath to the stage. Mark, any words?
Okay, on behalf of AMA Pro Racing and the American Motorcycle Association, very hard-fought championship for sure. I want to take a second to also congratulate Jake Lewis. A hard-fought battle. I know Jake perhaps didn't want to win it like this, but you know what? This is the Daytona SportBike National Championship, and congratulations.
I just got... You good? Yeah, thank you again to the whole Roadrace Factory Red Bull crew, all the guys, Scotty, Danny, everybody. I worked so hard. My parents at home watching this on Fans Choice. Just got to say hey to them. I love you guys, and yeah, we did it. So I'm bummed for Jake that he didn't get a real shot at it, but man, feels good to get this off my shoulders.
Great job.
My apologies once again to Mr. Dave McGrath. Obviously, emotions are running high for all of us, and this isn't the most ideal situation. Thank you. Folks, you got to give it up for today's new champion, 2014 GoPro Daytona SportBike, number 32, Jake Gagne on the Red Bull Road Race Factory team. Come on, guys, give it up for him. Once again, we'd like to thank New Jersey Motorsports Park for providing us with this beautiful facility for racing year after year. And of course, we'd like to thank our official sponsors of AMA Pro Road Racing. The official tire of AMA Pro is Dunlop Tires, and of course, the official fuel, Sunoco Fuel as well. Once again, guys, this will conclude our GoPro Daytona SportBike podium. Congrats to all of our winners today, and congrats to our brand new 2014 champion. Barry, we'll toss it back up to you.
Christy, thank you so much. It is a fun day here at New Jersey Motorsports Park, and I just have to say congratulations, first of all, to Dane Westby, the entire team, the Yamalube racing team. Great job. And what can you say, Danny Walker, wherever you are? I know, man, you guys are going to celebrate tonight, but don't do too much celebrating. You got to come back tomorrow and do it again, but congratulations, Jake Gagne. It was a hard-fought battle, and I'll echo everyone's sentiments. Jake Lewis certainly didn't want this thing to come down and end that way. Nobody would have wanted that for him or that great team over at Mean Motorsports, but that's racing, that's life. Those things occur. We'll pick ourselves off the ground, dust ourselves off, and come back out here tomorrow and do it again. Well, GoPro Daytona SportBike is in the record book. I'll tell you now that they did send the safety car out to evaluate the puddles around the racetrack, make sure that we are good to go, and apparently we are. Superbike is coming up next, and we're all very much looking forward to that. We'll be back shortly. CoreTech Performance Gear is a proud sponsor of AMA Pro Road Racing's timing and scoring pages on AMAProRacing.com. Make sure to check out the latest CoreTech gear at your local stocking dealer. You can also download the AMA Pro Racing app for your smartphone from the App Store to check out live timing and scoring, season point standings, as well as all the latest news from AMA Pro Racing. CoreTech, maker of high-performance apparel, boots, and luggage for the performance motorcyclist. Learn more at coretech.net or coretechperformance.com.
So one time I didn't get worried about getting sprayed with shampoo. Oh, I know. So I think I can make a difference.
GoPro, the world's most versatile camera and producer of some of today's most engaging content, is proud to be the official camera sponsor of AMA Pro Road Racing. Visit GoPro.com for the latest news. Saddlemen is the official seat company of AMA Pro Racing and the proud sponsor of the AMA Pro Road Racing Rookie of the Year. Saddlemen has been producing the industry's most advanced seats for over 25 years and has introduced a line of innovative sport bike seats for both road and track use. Made in the USA, Saddlemen seats are designed by enthusiasts and racers. Each Saddlemen seat is handcrafted and features patented design technology and advanced materials. Saddlemen is the official seat company of AMA Pro Racing and the proud sponsor of the AMA Pro Road Racing Rookie of the Year. Sunoco, the official fuel of AMA Pro Road Racing, would like to welcome all the race fans and thank the entire AMA Pro community for your continued support. In the same way Sunoco keeps AMA Pro moving, they keep you moving. We invite you to visit Sunoco Racing on Facebook and enjoy the race. We are excited to introduce the most advanced GoPro yet, the Hero 3 Plus Black Edition, featuring a 20% smaller and lighter design and 30% better battery life than previous models. These upgrades, combined with an improved lens and convenient new video capture modes, produce the most advanced and easy-to-use GoPro yet. Visit GoPro.com. At MotoBat, we are very excited about racing, and especially for this, our third year as the official battery charger, and tester of AMA Pro Racing. We are equally proud to be the ongoing sponsor of the MotoBat Hard Charger Award, earned by the aggressive rider who passes the most competitors during an event. MotoBat is a manufacturer and distributor of unique high-performance starting and charging solutions for today's power sports market. To learn more about these great MotoBat products, go to motobat.com and be sure to ask for MotoBat products at your local dealer. Thank you for attending today's race and have fun.
Where that bike was laying.
All right, we are here for round 7 of the AMA Pro Road
Dunlop,
Racing
the official
season.
road racing
The Kawasaki
tire
Double
of
Showdown
AMA
from
Pro
the Jersey
Racing wants
Motorsports Park.
you to
We have
share
our podium
your
finishers
riding
from race 1
stories.
from the
Use the
GoPro Daytona
hashtag
SportBike
#IRideDunlop.
class. We're gonna start with
Hashtag
our third place finisher
#IRideDunlop. AMA
on the
Pro
number
Racing would
98
like to
Geico Motorcycle Racing Honda CBR 600.
official
We have Jake's
merchandise
MT
trailer
Jake.
to check
Obviously,
out
conditions
all
are the big
of the
story.
latest
Talk about what it
official
feels
AMA
like
Pro
and how you're able to
Racing
put the
gear.
bike on the
This
podium in the rain
stylish
today.
and comfortable official
Yeah,
Pro
it
Racing
was,
apparel is only available
rain
at
was
the
helping
AMA
us a lot,
Pro
for sure.
merchandise
The
trailer.
conditions helped us to get up on the podium today, and just really happy to do it for the team. You know, they've been busting their butts for the last couple years. I mean, they went from winning a couple championships in the 600 class to not being on the podium. It's tough for everybody. You know, it's tough for them, and but they're putting in, you know, all the hard work week in and week out. And all year this year, my bike's been getting better and better every race. So, you know, I'm really just happy to do it for the team. And it's been a little while since I've been on the podium, so I'm pretty happy to be up here.
Thank you. And coming in second today, we got some bigger stuff to talk to you about. I'm going to ask you to talk about your race first. We're going to come back to those big picture things in just a second. But on the riding number 32 Road Race Factory Red Bull Yamaha YZF R6, we have Jake Gagne. Jake, you're back a little bit, started to pick some people off. You know, talk about the conditions and how you're able to, you know, force your way through that and finish second place today.
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy race. Yeah, like you said, I kind of started off slow and just, you know, I didn't want to do anything too stupid, and kind of picked a few guys off, and then, you know, by that I saw right away Dane was gone, even Jake and Garrett and all those guys were going really, really fast in the beginning, and I was just kind of trying to work myself into it and get there slowly, and then, yeah, sometime a few laps in, I got by Eslick, and then I saw Zemke, and I kind of slowly started reeling him in, and then, yeah, I got by Jake, and then, yeah, Dane was already gone. I was just trying to survive. It was just gnarly out there. There was puddles, and but yeah, I'm just happy we came home and finished it. And yeah, the end there was really, really, really scary too at the end because it just started raining pretty hard. But yeah, I think I'm just happy to be up here. Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said, we're going to come back to you in just a moment. Our winner today, though, from the pole on the 00 Yamalube Westby Racing Yamaha YZF R6, Dane Westby. Dane, it looked like you were the most comfortable in the rain out there. Talk about what it was like for you to ride out there and what it means for you to win in conditions like this and any win.
Oh man, I'm ecstatic. I don't even know if that is an accurate word. I'm just over the moon to be able to, you know, utilize. I seem to be able to ride in the rain pretty good. So to be able to finish a race, I was pretty disappointed when they flagged it at the first part, and then I thought it was going to stop raining, but. And I also knew that Jake was going to be some big competition. In the only other rain race, you know, he pulled away from me. So
that was last year, and I knew he was coming, but I was able to get back up there pretty good in the beginning, and I knew he had bigger things on his mind, so that was pretty much my plan, and it worked. So here we are. But like he said, at the end was pretty hairy. I thought I was riding totally like 20%, and the rear end came around on me in the last corner, second to last corner, so it was extremely treacherous, even on the rain tires. So, wow, I don't know. Somebody was saying that I'm the winningest rider now of the 14th season, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, how it just would have been nice to round that out with a few more good finishes and be able to give Jake more of a challenge here at the end. But we'll take what we can get. I'm really happy to be up here, and like I said, I didn't get any sleep last night, so maybe I need to do that more often. Let's see, there was one other thing. I just wanted to thank Trig, my dad, for supporting me all these years, and Trevor and the Yamaha guys for putting this together for me, believing in me. I'm one of the older guys, so I still got it. I still got claws.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go back to that gentleman sitting immediately to your left. Got that big gold #1 on your chest, Jake Gagne, your 2014 GoPro Daytona SportBike champion. How does it feel to take it home today?
It's incredible. I mean, honestly, the last thing I thought about today was to have this thing wrapped up. But yeah, I'm bummed for Jake Lewis, man. He rode his butt off all year, and he's been riding really, really fast. And for him, I saw on the grid, I looked back and I saw that he wasn't there, and I had no idea what was going on there. And I heard his bike didn't start, and yeah, like I said, I'm just bummed for him that we didn't get a good battle, a battle royale this last weekend with him. But yeah, we got tomorrow, and I'm sure he'll be on fire, and all these guys are going to be on fire, Dane and everybody. But yeah, I'm just stoked for the whole Roadrace Factory Red Bull crew. Like I said, this is my 3rd year with these guys, and last year we had a good year, but to pull off the championship this year for all those guys, and Bell Helmets, Alpine Star, especially my mom and dad, grandma, grandpa at home. I love you guys, all my friends and family, everybody for supporting me, and yeah, I don't even really know what to say. I'm just stoked and ready to go get racing again tomorrow.
But also, it was a difficult season, lots of different conditions, and a hot young 18-year-old rider who got on a hot streak late in the season. How difficult was this, and how much did your Red Bull, Roadrace Factory team help you out to get to this point, especially in a year like this?
They're incredible. No matter what, Scotty and Danny and Walker and everybody, those guys just work their butts off. They're at home in Colorado working their butts off every single day, and like I said, just to do it for those guys is huge for me. I'm just so stoked for them, and I'm stoked for myself too. And yeah, but just like I said, to pay off all their hard work, I've never seen such a hardworking group of guys. So I'm just so happy to be with them. And like I said, 3 years with those guys, it's been incredible, and it's incredible to do this. Yeah, like I said, I'm stoked. I don't even really know what to say.
Thank you. All right.